Hello everyone, I hope you're doing absolutely excellently. Now today we've got valued viewer requests. We're going to tie two up in one from El Duderino and one from Frederick LH. Both of them are about the Draken. I've been looking for an excuse to cover this for ages. I don't know a great deal about it, but I know it's an awesome plane with an awesome history, and so I'd like to learn about it. So what we'll do is we'll go look at some basic spiel and statistics about it, then we'll go and answer the questions. Saab 35 Draken, a kite of the Draken, is a Swedish fighter aircraft developed and manufactured by Saab between 1955 and 1974, so very early, 1955. It was the first fully supersonic aircraft to be deployed in Western Europe, which is cool, and the first aircraft to do the Cobra maneuver, which is one of our questions. Draken was developed during the 1940s and 1950s to replace Sweden's first generation of jet-powered fighter aircraft, the Saab J-29 Tunnan, and later the fighter variant, the J-32B of the Saab 32 Lansen. It featured an innovative double delta wing, which is, I mean, look at it, nothing's ever that I can think of has come out looking like that. It's a really amazing thing that they did there. In order to test this previously unexplored aerodynamic feature, a sub-scale test aircraft, the Saab 210, oh, look at that, was produced and flown. Developed in Sweden, the Draken was introduced into service with the Swedish Air Force on March 1960 under the designation J-35, the prefix J standing for Jägt, which translates to pursuit. Early models were intended purely to perform air defense missions, the type being considered to be capable dogfighter of its era. Although I expect most likely it was expected to climb high as quick as possible and intercept bombers before they could drop bombs. The Draken functioned as an effective supersonic fighter of the Cold War period. In Swedish service, it underwent several upgrades, the ultimate of these being the J-35J model. By the 1980s, the SAF Drakens had largely been replaced by the more advanced Saab 37 Viggen, which we have in DCS, for the bomber variant rather than the fighter variant, while the introduction of the more capable JAS 37 Gripen, which is obviously the contemporary replacement. Now, Sweden is a very respected and visionary aeroplane maker in the world. They have always done things their way. The Viggen, they did it their way. The Draken, they clearly did it their way. And even the JAS-39, which on the surface looks quite a bit like a Rafale and a Eurofighter, there's still lots of their way in there. The service history of the Draken was massive. Actual service, I think in 1960 was the service, and I think it retired actual service in 1999. So it's 39-year service, which is pretty amazing. This talks about its Cobra, where it could, like an Su-27, it can go all the way past the plumb and back down, which is quite amazing. Different variants, Alpha model, 1959, 1961, all the way down to the J model in 1985. Now, this aircraft is on my bucket list. I've never seen it in real life before, and I would love to. I think there are some still flying, so I'd like to get that before I die. Here are variants again and their performance. If we go down to here, I think this is the F model, so it's not quite the latest, but it's the one, if you like, before the latest. Wing area. Now, I wonder how wing area is calculated. I'm guessing it includes this kind of massive root area. That must be the most of the wing. Very odd design. Empty, 17,000 pounds, so it's quite a big old thing, actually. Takeoff, 24,000 pounds. Max takeoff weight, 26,000 pounds. We had one afterburning turbojet on this variant with nearly 18,000 pounds of thrust. And one of the really cool things about this, at least the F version, could get up to and achieve Mach 2, which is a real credit to it. Ferry range, nearly 3,000 kilometers with drop tanks. Service ceiling, 66,000 feet, is impressive, higher than a lot of contemporary planes. 40,000 feet per minute is very good. Thruster weight's pretty bad, but then again, for the time, I guess it's okay. Armament, 1 times or 2 times mil ACAN 30 mil Aden cannons. Hard points for fuel, tanks or ordnance with a capacity of just under 3 metric tons, sufficient to carry the combinations of rockets, so unguided rockets. Missiles, will come back to that. Bombs. The Danish export version was modified according to NATO standards and fitted with 1,000 pound bomb hardpoint, so dumb bombs as far as I can see. Missiles. RB-24, which is the manufactured Sidewinder, it's an AIM-9, essentially. Even more interestingly, and I'd love to see these in DCS at some point if we don't have them, the RB-27, RB-28. My understandings are the RB-27, I think, is the nuclear version of the Falcon. Oh, AIM-26 here, yeah, which is, what, a nuclear version of the AIM-4? If we skip to RB-28, that's going to be our AIM-4, which is before AIM-7, before AIM-9. This was, I think, the first production air-to-air guided missile. And as far as I'm aware, it was absolutely terrible, probably for shooting down non-maneuverable bombers. And I found a cool picture. I'd love to do a video exploring this a bit more at some point. If we go here, that's the size of a Sidewinder. As you all know, a Sidewinder is a very small object. We've got a, what, Bravo model there, I think. Where does it say? That's Juliet model. Yeah, down there. We've got the AIM-26 here, which I believe is the nuclear version, the RB-27. And there's the AIM-4 there, which is the RB-28. And look how small it is compared to like nearly half the size of a Sidewinder. It's a diddly little thing. I'd love to have an aeroplane with one that we can have a go with. Now let's go and have a look at the video. So first video we've got here. Have you guys seen anything like this? It reminds me of the F4 Phantom departing flight video you guys did. So these planes are pre-fly-by-wire, but it would have had some augmentation presumably, but essentially you can make it do what you want. Look at that. So that is, all intents and purposes, a proper Cobra. Doesn't gain too much altitude. Burns off a bunch of airspeed, look. Reasons why this vehicle could do it and others can't, I don't know. You guys will have to let me know that. Not the foggiest, but they're going right past, right over in some cases. Shows that they've got full control of what those flight services are doing. Very cool stuff. So some really cool period footage there of the 35s in formation. Not sure when it's from by the look of the video, like 80s or something. But showing the famous Cobra. It has been done many decades before the Su-27 did it, got famous, the snake bite. Next we've got, I know you don't like the real fighter jets anymore. I think he means the modern ones. The good old Cold War power horse fighter jets, that's correct, that is what I like. But considering the Eurofighter and the Gripen marketing super realistic and not CGI dependent videos you analyse, would you be interested in doing the same for the old ones? No one like Cold War planes. True, no one does like the Cold War planes, it's very frustrating. Official J-35 Draken marketing video from the 50s, wow, from the 50s? Of Saab's YouTube channel. Now, this is going to be interesting. Let's go. Really nice overdubbing.
The Draken is the latest aircraft in the Royal Swedish Air Force, and it's different. It can fly in all weather, in rain, fog, cloud, night and day. Draken is the modern definition and the modern answer to the problem all-weather fighter. Saab has built the Draken, and the Air Force Test Center is now carrying out tactical test flying of this aircraft.
There'll be no other flying during this test flight. Briefing concluded.
There'll be no engine test this afternoon.
Can anyone take a test with a pressure suit?
I can.
The pressure suit is a necessity to the fighter pilot. Without it, he cannot stand great altitude or acceleration. A modern aircraft makes great demands on a pilot's physical condition. The pilot must be equipped to meet these demands. The best flight surgeons are continually researching for ways and means to meet these great physical demands. The pilots are tested not once, but many times. Pressure, acceleration, and blood circulation tests to find the maximum physical limits, which must never be exceeded.
Draken 1-3 is coming into land. Clear to land.
Test center radio listen.
Distance 10 miles, gear down.
all-weather fighter means flight operations in all weather. But to reach that performance, there must first be many difficult tests. Tests which must prove the ability of the Draken. A parachute, as everybody knows, is used to save lives, but it also helps technicians to reduce braking distances.
Are you satisfied now?
No, this instrument is not so good. It should be moved.
Test pilots do not only test maneuverability. The instruments are the aircraft's mechanical brain, and to save time, the test center uses other types, specifically the Lansen and the flying barrel. The Draken's instruments are installed in the Lansen for air tests.
Lansen 9-3, you can begin now.
The radar is the Draken's eye. It leads the pilot to the target. The flying barrel acts as the target, while in the Lansen, the attacking pilot works with the instruments of the Draken. Next phase, the Draken is nearing completion. The armament is tuned to the sighting equipment, the pilot's electronic brain. The intention is to reach the target, make the attack and disappear. There is no room for mistakes.
Contact.
Look at the radar. Jeez.
The strobe's okay. Steady. Radar locking. Picture good. There, I lost him. Brake.
Here we have it.
Yes, there it is.
Here we have 20 seconds.
I know what it is now.
Now wait a second. Here it is. Let's have a look.
We'd better ask Saab about that.
Draken, 2-1 start.
2-5. Draken 2-1. Target okay.
Here, Draken 2-1. High altitude run with rockets firing. Janet George.
The Draken is versatile and built for high-altitude operations. Acceleration, rate and angle of climb are three important factors in air defense. In vertical speeds greater than the horizontal speeds of 15 years ago, the modern fighter zooms towards its target. Air defense today is built not only on the flying squadrons. From radar stations on the ground, the pilot receives instructions vectoring him into a position where his own radar takes over and completes the mission.
Radar control. Draken 2-1, course south.
Draken 2-1, seabird contact. Steer 160. Target due south. Distance now 100 miles.
Draken 2-1, accelerating.
175er, 46 above.
Zooming, he said, towards new altitudes closer to the edges of space, so close that we can see the curvature of the Earth.
Contact.
This time, the radar sight works.
What an odd-looking radar sight.
20. 15. 10.
That is so Saab. What's it doing there? Whoa! Stop. What? So much to learn, but so little information being said. What is that missile? What the hell is that? What is that? It's just a rocket pod firing. Why is he firing a rocket pod? So we got a radar. Why did he get a radar lock? So weird.
Draken 1-7 starts.
1-7.
Some of them, when I look in the cockpit, some of them have pressure suits and some don't. So did they have pressure suits or not?
Roger.
Okay, I think that has opened up more questions than it actually answered. So do they have pressure suits or what?
I'd say they probably had pressure suits when they were flight testing them.
Well, you say maybe it depends on the altitude, but you don't know. If you're waiting on QRA, you don't know if you're going to go 60,000 feet or 10,000 feet. So I think it's going to be a yes or a no answer for operations, surely. So that needs answering. Let me have a think. The radar gizmo was interesting. A very simple radar, pre-MiG-21 biz, it felt. But it didn't use it to guide a weapon. But wasn't the AIM 4, maybe the AIM, no, wasn't the AIM 4 semi-active radar homing? So why didn't they use...
Some versions were.
Also, if this plane was operational till nearly year 2000, I mean literally operational, why didn't they convert it to use an AIM 7, for instance, which had been used for the last 30-something years? None of this makes sense to me. Why would it only have AIM 9 equivalents and literally 1940s AIM 4s? None of this is making sense about the Draken to me. So those are the questions I need you guys to answer. I'd also like to talk about how it can do the Cobra. Why it's, weight balance, where the wings are, I don't know. So see what people think about that. So we need some Swedish brains to get on these questions. Anything else that you would like to ask or point out, RC?
No.
Otherwise, it's interesting. Let's take it from here. See you later.